Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Thursday Night Cheerily. We Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK versus Arthritic Abathurs on Infernal Shrines. Zagara banned out immediately by Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK. I don't like that decision necessarily. Zagara is the strongest hero in the game right now, in my opinion. Just in general, she's the strongest hero in the game. There's arguments about what constitutes a strong hero in terms of, sometimes it's a team-focused game, so composition matters. But winning one lane decisively, as long as she doesn't get rotated on, is pretty important. Kerrigan banned out as a response by Arthritic Abathurs. That's a good ban on this map because of the shrine potential. And Zul picked up by Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK. The problem is that Sylvanas is now available, and Zul can get you a little bit ahead, but Sylvanas can completely negate that advantage if you lose the shrine. Sylvanas does get picked up by Arthritic Abathurs. It's a really good pickup for them. Call them Don't Got a Big Doc. I want to call them Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK. That's their name. I gotta start substituting random vowels. Don't got a big doc. Don't got a big duck. Don't got a big dack. Don't got a big deck. You just never know. Johanna also picked up here for Arthritic Abathurs. I feel like that's a denial pick. I feel like Arthritic Abathurs don't want to let Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK have both Zul and Johanna because it's such a strong combination in terms of just dominating the lanes. An asterisk is just a star, so you can call them Don't Get a Big D-Starsk. D-Star... Star... It wouldn't be Stark. Don't Got a Big D-Stark. It's even weirder. ETC is picked up now. That we'll give them some gank potential in lane, particularly with Zul Root as a follow-up. But Johanna is one of the best heroes to counter Mosh in general because of Condemn and Blessed Shield and Iron Skin. Sylvanas with the Wailing Arrow as well. So we shouldn't see much value out of Mosh this game. I'm not saying we won't see value out of Mosh. I'm just saying we shouldn't. And I think at this point they really want to lock in their support as well. I would pick up Rhaegar here just for that shrine dominance. They opt into Kael'thas. Kael'thas is a hero we haven't been seeing very much of. And it's an interesting pick because Kael'thas and his current incarnation really is best with Johanna because of the Chain Bomb spread potential. And he is good on shrines because of his shrine clear potential with Flame Strike. Flame Strike is quite large and does an exceptional amount of damage. But except for the synergy between ETC Kael'thas with the stun, I feel like it's not that great. They do need to draft a solo laner in their last two picks and a support. But because they already have Zul kind of filling that bruiser role, they have that double frontline, they can pick any solo laner they feel like they can get away with. And I almost think they're kind of going to go multiple melee heroes because they picked up the KT. They don't want that threat of the Chain Bomb to exist. Uther banned out by Arthritic Abathurs. They don't want the Divine Mosh, but they're not going to pick up Uther. And when you ban Uther like that, it's telling the enemy team a lot. It's telling them you're not going to pick up, for instance, like a Greymane. So banning a Greymane here would be pointless. They're like, we're not going to pick up a hero who benefits a lot from Divine Shield. I mean, Kerrigan, Greymane, even Thrall benefits quite a bit from Divine Shield. Butcher. Not very popular on this map, but it tells the enemy team a lot about your draft and about what you're planning to pick up next. And Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK could infer a lot of things from that. They ban Illidan. That's just... Yeah, see, that doesn't make any sense. Just straight up doesn't really make sense. Illidan is actually a strong solo laner, and it's something Arthritic Abathurs still needs. He also has a lot of potential on camps. But he's not as good as something like a Sonya actually on the shrine. If you had a choice between Illidan and Sonya on Infernal Shrines, you would take Sonya like 90% of the time. Especially if you had a Sylvanas and your objective was to win the objective as hard as possible. Thrall does get picked up. That is going to be a solo laner. For Arthritic Abathurs, Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK is probably not going to go double mage. So if you want like a Li Ming or something, you can afford to wait and have your last pick be much more flexible. They opt to lock the Li Ming in right here. This means their last pick is going to have to be a support, and they're not going to have any flexibility in the rest of their draft to respond to whatever it is that Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK is going to be breaking out here. Is the blue team against woodworking or waterfowl? They opt into the Brightwing. Interesting that they're essentially going for blow up, right, with the Zool ETC Kael'thas CC combo, but they're also picking a sustain healer. It's an interesting decision. I'm not sure about that against the potential of Condemn into Sunder. Condemn into Sunder into Wailing Arrow can be quite strong. I definitely feel like Rhaegar would have given them more shrine control, and they really need to make sure they never lose a shrine because of that Sylvanas. Brightwing does have a global, and she does have Emerald Wind, which does allow for disengages if they get dived upon, but there's not, I mean, except for the Thrall, except for that Sunder threat, there's not really that much dive. So I don't see what the Brightwing is bringing to the table here other than a global. And Raynor picked up. Raynor does a lot of damage at tanks, just shreds tanks, but with just Johanna, I mean, they know the last pick's going to be support. They know it's not going to be double tank. I don't know about this last two picks, but I don't got a big D asterisk CK. Just don't know. This is going to have a 2 minute later? No. I never have a delay for my Trail casts. I said this last night. If someone on the team wants to cheat and for a tournament that's basically about bragging rights, right? It's about personal integrity, about whether or not you are a good team player. You and your team are good team players, rather. They're welcome to do so. Also, I know of at least 2 people who tried that and they got caught. They're no longer allowed to chair league. So if you want to try stream sniping, you're welcome to do so, but there are ways of noticing that you're doing it. I won't say what those ways are. Make it harder to catch people in the future, but don't stream snipe. And I will not stream with a delay because I want to interact with my chat, you guys. PPL requires a 2 minute delay, and there are cash prizes on the line for PPL, so it's a little bit of a different situation.
Bring the mega death.
Yep, that's not the right window. There we go. And cam off. CL overlay on. So, Brightwing has a niche. I will say Brightwing has a very strong niche. She is arguably the best anti-dive support in the entire game. Emerald Wind is a crazy strong heroic. Like an absolutely crazy strong heroic. But, except for the Thrall, there's just no dive. Except for the Thrall, there's just no dive. So I'm not sure what the Brightwing's contributing. She's going to do a little bit of work with Shield Dust post 13 against the Li Ming. And the Thrall, but I guess they're worried about the Raynor getting collapsed on. I don't know, guys. I don't think Brightwing was the best pick there. I do think Rhaegar at level 1 with Lightning Bond is going to give absolute shrine dominance to the red team. See how that works out for them. So for Don't Got a Big D asterisk CK, we have Gemp on Kael'thas, Silver Bullet on ETC, Pylo No Phone on Brightwing, Jimmy on Raynor, and Unmusical on Zool. For the red team, Arthritic Abathurs on the right side of the map, we have Daz on Thrall, Fatey on Johanna, Black Magic on Li Ming, Night Knight on Rhaegar, and Belkrum on Sylvanas. I imagine we're going to see Arthritic Abathurs cheese a lane with that Sylvanas. Unfurling Spray picked up at level 1 for Brightwing. Again, Unfurling Spray is currently bugged. You should never be picking it. Putting that out there. We are going to see the Flame Strike build out of the Kael'thas. I don't agree with this decision at all. He really doesn't. You need the survivability, particularly when you have a healer like Brightwing. You need the survivability that Mana Addict offers you, and fights on shrines can last for a very long time. The extra mana that Mana Addict gives you does a lot of work. Nice blind and Condemn on Jimmy, denying his D-push, essentially, and Belkrum is going to get absolutely chunked. Was too close to the bottom tower and didn't disable it. Going to go down. 1 kill for a tower. Not really 100% worth it, but it's a reasonable trade, and if the top shrine is the first Punisher, that could end up being very, very good for Arthritic Abathurs. Meanwhile, we have Zool already doing the double soak shenanigans, clearing the wave and rotating, clearing the wave and rotating, and as a result, his team is very far ahead in experience, and is going to stay ahead because it's Zool. Gemp demonstrating advanced micro and absorbing all of the skill shot combo from Black Magic, not even moving down to behind his wave to make sure it gets blocked from the... Pretty sure Brightwing is Pylon of 1 rather than Pylo no phone. Pylon of 1. I like Pylo no phone better, but we'll ask them after the break. Astral Presence picked up for Li Ming. Again, this is not a very good talent. Hungry for More is, or Power Hungry is strictly better on any map where you're in lane ever, pretty much. Curse Hollow and BOE are only really the only two maps where you can justify picking up Astral Presence in the current meta. EDC gets rotated on, isolated, gets put down. Sylvanas being a solo laner again, and this is just something you never want to do with Sylvanas. You never want Sylvanas to be your solo laner. She can post 7 has a good enough wave clear with Barb Shot to rotate after Azul and keep the waves clear if you're in a 4v4 in the rest of the map. But is this Division 3, right? I believe so. Yeah, it says it right there on the overlay. Neither team has picked up level 4 yet, and Sylvanas is still trying to deal with Zul in the bottom lane, otherwise a 4v4. Johanna is a little bit late, did have to back. Fady is going to get here in time eventually. They need 4 before they can really commit to this. We do see Vigorous Assault pick up for Raynor, trying to compensate for the fact that they picked Brightwing as a healer. Again, which tells me that he's not confident in his positioning, his ability to keep things not like that happen, where Li Ming just orbs him for the full combo. Silver Bullet going deep with the power slide, not punished at all. Sylvanas gets 1v1 by Zul in the mid lane, and that is very unfortunate for Arthritic Abathurs. Convection starting to get a little, the occasional stack here, and Silver Bullet body blocked in a corner but has power slide available, does get out of there. And at this point, the lack of focus fire is really showing for Arthritic Abathurs. If they could get one kill, the Li Ming, the Li Ming would get the resets. Sorry, there's a chat. Fady, very low, is going to go down to that chain bomb spread. Ouch. Feels bad. That is currently 6-4, a full level lead for the Zul team, and all Zul has to do is clear the wave and rotate, clear the wave and rotate, clear the wave and rotate. It's actually a mistake to have the Sylvanas double soaking against the Zul. Yes, there's a possibility that you'll fall behind in experience, but you need to win the Punisher. You win the Punisher when you have a Sylvanas. That's your priority. If you get the Punisher, you're going to get the fort. That's going to even out the experience gap significantly. But by not having the Sylvanas there, not only did you not win the Punisher because you lost the 4v4, which is always a possibility. You got to always acknowledge that you can lose the 4v4. You have put yourself in a situation where they also got the Punisher. So now they have all that advantage from the Zul soak, and they had the Punisher. But the Abathurs on the back foot here on a map where they actually should be dominating with their talent choices. Oops. We see Guitar Hero picked up for ETC. This is, again, one of... They seem very concerned with the fact that Brightwing doesn't have a lot of healing. I don't understand why a team would pick Brightwing, knowing that she doesn't have, a lot of healing. And just talent around that fact when they could have just picked a regular support and not had this concern. Guitar Hero is a pretty lackluster talent. Should almost never be taken. We do see double skeleton talents picked up for Zul. It is going to help him a lot with the sustain in lane. And Sun King's Fury picked up for Kel'Thas. As long as the chain bombs keep spreading, we're going to see a lot of damage. Go down. Notice that Zul got the entire bottom wall and most of the fort and got most of mid wall's ammo. Kraken, going to go down again to Jemp. Jemp needs to back off, and this is why I don't like that choice from Jemp. It doesn't even make sense, by the way, to go Sun King's Fury and Convection. If you're going to go for the Flame Strike build, go for the full Flame Strike build. Weird hybrid builds are generally bad. There's very few exceptions. It's usually better to invest everything into one thing, particularly if you're a damage dealer. It's awkward. Still not getting Li Ming the reset she really needs to make something happen here. Jimmy is extremely low. That's a double combo onto him, getting a lot of value out of Triumvirate. We also see Seeker picked up for Li Ming at 7. This is a wave clear centric map, and Shrines just... I don't understand why we're not seeing Calamity picked up here. Calamity is almost the only talent you should pick at 7 on this map as Li Ming. follow through and bless momentum picked up as well as Barb Shot. Barb Shot's going to help them with the Shrine Clear extensively. But Don't Got a Big D Astro CK is going to get level 10 first, and that's going to pretty much ensure them the Shrine. There's no possibility that they win. What they need to do, actually, is go top. They need to go top and get this 4th for free with a Sylvanas push, sacrificing this Punisher. Instead, they're fighting. And all Don't Got a Big D Astro CK has to do here is back off and wait for 10. They have 10 now. Everyone needs to rotate down here and force a fight. And Arthritic Abathurs just needs to leave. They just need to leave. They don't, no, they're not leaving it. That is a 3-man Mosh. Condemn is available. The Mosh gets very little value. Hyperion is chunking everyone out. And somehow Don't Got a Big D Astro CK actually loses the damage trade on that. 3 heroics down for them now. And nothing going on. Zool in the top lane. This is a 5v4 with no heroics down. That talent advantage is now basically meaningless. And if Li Ming can start getting resets, that does make, the ETC did go down. Seeker not getting any value there, but Triumvirate through the wall. Another good orb. They can get just one more pylon of 1, taking so much damage. Jimmy taking another orb and another orb and another orb. One more, but Black Magic is about to run out of mana. But if they can get this Punisher, and push with it with the Sylvanas, they are guaranteed to get a minimum of a 4 as long as they don't misplay. And overextension by Gem. He does get a heal. Does end up being saved just barely. Not waiting for the whole team to be able to pick up those globes. As a result, Daz is completely out of mana. You really want to make sure when you're just finishing a Punisher, you wait to pick up the globes so your whole team is there. Sylvanas going into the mid lane, not pushing with the Punisher. Oh my god. Sylvanas needs to be pushing with this Punisher. Sylvanas, you draft Sylvanas on this map so you can push with the Punisher. That's why you draft Sylvanas on this map. She's not pushing with the Punisher. This Punisher's going to get out for free. They're not going to get the 4th. They're not going to get that tempo advantage that they needed by getting the structure lead. Azul got a 4 top. So overall, that was better for Don't Got a Big D Astro CK than it was for Arthritic Abathurs. It was such a bad decision. Such a bad decision. You draft Sylvanas on this map because she can double the value of any Punisher that you get. Getting a Punisher and then not pushing. And we do see Blinkio was picked up for Brightwing. She went for the trait build, including Peekaboo, which is an odd level 4 choice when you're going for the trait build, and then did not go for Emerald Wind. This is unusual, is the best way I can put it. Unusual. Unusual. And again, they're even on levels for now, or even on talent tiers for now, but Don't Got a Big D Astro CK is going to get to level 13 first. I feel like they should, Arthur should try and force a fight, but they just burned quite a few heroics. They're not quite available, and all the heroics are up for Don't Got a Big D Astro CK, so they're going to have to wait until that changes. Arctic Foxes 24, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I should maybe turn that off, though. Sorry about the alert, guys. Silver Bullet in the top lane doing a wave clear job. Like, look, this is ETC. Let's look at this for a second. This is how ETC wave clears. You guys wanna... It takes a while. You don't usually want to wave clear ETC. ETC actually is the worst wave clear of any tank. In general, he's best used as a mobile ward, rotating for his team, guarding rotations. And if you use him as a wave clear tank instead, you're going to end up in a situation where your team does get isolated. We do see Sylvanas ends up going down to the Zul route here. They try to turn around on Unmusical with the Li Ming combo, but it doesn't work out. "13 talent tier picked up. Udishi So-Star picked up. Again, so much concern about survivability. Why did they just not pick a different healer if they thought Brightwing couldn't handle the load? Double barreled picked up for Raynor. I think we're probably going to see Bullseye at 16 for the double stun. We'll see Hamstring Shot picked up at 7. So Raynor has exactly 0 mobility. If he ever gets caught out of position, he should just die instantaneously, assuming every part of the Li Ming combo can hit him at the same time. And we've seen him walk into many of the Li Ming combos, so that's probably going to happen more than once. Fighting down a talent tier. This is the talent tier you want to fight down if you're going to fight down a talent tier 13. Arguably the least impactful talent tier overall. Huge Mosh going down with Blessed Shield and Sunder coming down instantly. Hyperion comes down for the zoning, but instantly erased ETC. And at that point, all Arthritic Abathurs has to do is back out and wait for Hyperion to end, but they do lose the Punisher. They did not get there quite in time, despite that kill. They can kill this in lane. They don't have to run away. They can just take the 5v4. Okay. This is the safer strategy. And I guess the Li Ming was out of mana. They were backing up. It's fair. It's almost like she didn't take the right mana talent at level 1. She always out of mana. My Twitch chat is not for memes and shit talk, guys. Don't do that. Zul rotating out. Gonna confirm the middle wall here. He doesn't... It's worth noting that without his wave there to spawn skeletons, Zul's pushing is actually pretty lackluster. Once the wave gets here, though, he clears it instantaneously. He has those extra things. He will have quite a lot of things to do. Brightwing was getting that soak in the top lane, and then Z's to mid lane, trying to win that race to 16 as aggressively as possible. Black Magic with the Zoning Orb forces everyone back off just a little bit. Johanna now has Burning Rage, so she's going to be even better on the Shrine. Spell Shield picked up for Sylvanas. Shouldn't be able to get erased quite as easily as she has been. It is worth noting that we haven't seen a lot of strong cleanses so far out of Night-Night. Zulroot is usually a pretty obvious target for the timing for cleanse, and we haven't seen that. We've actually seen Zul's Root getting quite a lot of value. The Pwn Prison is, in fact, a prison. And they're not even checking this camp. They need to check this camp. They don't know where the enemy team is. Johanna should just walk down and poke her head in here and see what's going on. They opt not to do that. So they could have done on a 5v2, stolen the camp, gotten 2 kills, and instead they get absolutely nothing. That's a lack of map awareness that is going to cost Arthritic Abathurs quite a bit. Daz clearing the top lane. They actually cannot soak 16 in time to contest the next shrine on an even talent here. They needed to force a fight at some point, and they just did not do it. Meanwhile, Bone Prison goes down on Fady again. Ancestral comes down for the save, but Iron Skin should be up momentarily, I hope. Check that. 3 seconds on Iron Skin. Okay. So Johanna does get out of there. It does cost them Ancestral, but that doesn't actually matter because they can't contest the Shrine anyway. You don't fight down the 16 talent tier. You don't fight down the 16 talent tier. And you also don't fight down the 16 talent tier. It's just not something you do. Critter Eyes is picked up for Brightwing. Again, oh, Raynor actually overextends massively. Gets comboed by Li Ming. Very nice pick off there by Black Magic. And Don't Got a Big D. Astro CK is not leaving. They're not leaving. They're not leaving. They're not leaving. They should have just left. Instead, they're getting rotated on by the Sylvanas, by the Thrall. They're retreating into a fort. We do see Wave of Force is available. Why is Li Ming not interrupting? Li Ming did not instantly interrupt that Wave of Force. She waited. And as a result, Sylvanas ends up going down basically for free, which she didn't have to. They can get a kill here, though. Unmusical is extremely immobile as Zul. They can easily make something happen. Silver Bullet is very, very low. Please get a reset. Li Ming is saying, please, 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 give me a reset. I can kill them all if you just give me one reset. Guys, I just need a reset. Guys, and no reset is achieved. But that trade of kills, that 1-for-1, means that this will be an even talent tier fight on the Shrine. With Mosh Pit not up, that is going to be a significant advantage for Arthritic Abathurs, but they need to back off and get mana. They can't just wander in here with low mana and fight this. Daz needs to go back for mana. They need to wait for Sylvanas to be here. Black Magic can poke with Frambrut with his W and his Q. He has a lot of poking potential, but they need to wait. They need to wait, and then Daz needs to go get mana. Daz is not going to have mana, but Sunder is going to be up. He's going to barely have enough mana to cast Sunder, and then will not have any follow-up potential whatsoever. Daz should be rotating the top lane. He wants to get that Sunder either here or here across the team, not from the front. Instead, they all group up. They all go through that same choke point into a KT Phoenix, which instantly shreds them. And Don't Got a Big D Astra CK takes the Punisher again through better positioning and better team fight, honestly. Zul burning mages a little bit early there, not getting too much value out of it. Black Magic does end up going down. Hyperion for the zoning. Hyperion's going to get a lot of value here. Hyperion is a great sieging heroic. If you can save it for the siege when you win a Punisher, you're going to get a lot of value. And this is going to be a keep easily for Don't Got a Big D Astro CK. But the Sunder, they do get the keep. The Silver Bullet with the Power Slide out. The triple stun for the disengage as well as the Bone Prison. And this zoning Phoenix on the retreat, forcing the dismount. Don't Got a Big D Astro CK is going to leave and with no penalty whatsoever. They got the keep and just left. get on the keep. I would like to see Silver Bullet standing right here for the rotation. It doesn't actually matter because Arthritic Abathurs is top, but they don't know that. They could easily be invading right here. They didn't do it last time, but it's no guarantee they won't do it this time. Arthritic Abathurs is not completely out of this game yet. They do need to force a fight right now. They're clearing these lanes. It's actually a mistake. They're not going to win the race to 20, and they don't want to fight down the Talenters. They actually need to go force a fight right now, or get a pick mid. Actually, rotating through here and getting the pick would have been a lot better. They needed to rotate aggressively, hoping for that pick. They don't get it. Zool and Bribing both rotate out very safely. $20 is going to be picked up here momentarily for Don't Got a Big D star or D asterisk CK. They're also going to just start pushing in top lane, apparently, because that's a thing you can do. Arthritic Abathurs finally trying to make up the difference by using the power of Sylvanas, getting the free forts that they can get with the disable. They can just constantly push this, but fortunately they hit upon the strategy of actually playing with the heroes they have a little too late. And it looks like they're going to aggressively go into this fight down 3 levels and down a talent tier. I don't think that's going to go very well for them, but we'll have to see how it works out. It's possible that Don't Got a Big D Astro CK could make a mistake in the engagement, could overextend with a mosh that gets easily interrupted, get that initial pick off. No, Arthritic Abathurs is just going to leave. They're just going to leave. They're just going to push in mid fort with that Sylvanas advantage. I like that decision because they need to keep mid lane depushed anyway because of the catapults. We do see Death Mosh, or 2 Robustus picked up, 4 ETC, so that's something they're going to have to be aware of for the rest of the game. Double Wormhole as well, Master of Flames, which means Sun King's Fury is going to get a lot of value, and Convection makes even less sense. Nexus Frenzy picked up for Raynor, and Raise Mage picked up for Zool, going for the Snowball hero talents, which, I mean, you're level 20, can be quite strong. Punisher is picked up. We do see ETC pushing out the lane by himself. This really should have been his entire team. He didn't need 4 people on the Shrine. And they're all backing. They could have gotten the wall at least to get a little bit closer to 20. They're going to have to fight down the talent tier. They're going to be fighting under their keep, but the Punisher is going to be sort of disabling the keep because it's going to be absorbing all of those shots. Johanna baiting that first shot. Hyperion comes down right away for the siege and the zoning. That is going to be an easily dead keep. They basically need to bait this Punisher onto core and then onto bottom keep in order not to lose the game here, just to the Punisher with the focus. A little bit of the 2 grouped up there. The Punisher wrecks them, and then the follow-up Mosh also wrecks them. Johanna gets destroyed. Rhaegar goes down, and that will be game, ladies and gentlemen. There's just no possibility that Arthritic Abathurs can possibly win here after all of that. Since they have Sylva, no, they're going to lose the race. 100% they're going to lose the race. But they never needed to be that far behind. They never needed to be that far behind. They could have gotten the wall. They would have gotten 19.5. Which means if they got a pick, they would have gotten 20. But they were 2 grouped up. They were 2 grouped up multiple times. They didn't pick the right engagements. The Sylvanas was overextended quite a bit. They didn't use the Sylvanas correctly at all. Like, at no point was the Sylvanas where she actually needed to be. There's